Welcome to the Wife Stories YouTube channel. New video every day, and don't forget to subscribe. Here we go.
You knew what you were getting into, she says, and her voice is almost calm. I can't look at her yet. There's a crumpled bedsheet on our mattress. White cotton, wrinkled beyond hope. It used to be smooth just last week. I remember it freshly laundered, smelling of clean linen. Now it's twisted and balled up against the foot of the bed, like it's trying to hide from the light of day. Her words hang in the air. I hear them, but I don't react. I'm stuck on that sheet, and the memory of how crisp it was. She stands there, barefoot, arms folded across her chest. Her hair's pulled back in a messy ponytail. I see little strands of it drifting across her face in the dim glow from the hallway. If I turn my head an inch to the left, I'll meet her eyes. But I don't move. I notice how her breathing changes. She's waiting for me to speak. I don't speak. I just remember how I found out. Her blog. So many small paragraphs about her day, her thoughts, her excitement about a new spark in her life. A spark that had nothing to do with me. But I'd never confronted her about it. I'd only read in silence, hidden behind my laptop screen late at night. She never mentioned my name. Only illusions of dissatisfaction, of seeking something different, of a man with a gentle smile and strong arms who made her feel alive. I tried to think she was just writing fantasies, but then the posts became too specific. Time, place, inside jokes that weren't jokes at all. She exhales. John, please. Her tone is the same as it was when she'd asked me to pass the salt at dinner, a mixture of courtesy and mild annoyance. I picture her blog posts, those carefree words. She used to type them on her phone while lying next to me. She thought I was asleep. My eyes shift away from the bed, across the floor. A lamp by the window. My reflection in the glass, half shadow. I look like a ghost. Outside, the streetlights bleach the suburban sidewalk. I notice how quiet it is. No crickets, no hum of traffic. The walls feel thick, stifling. I wonder if our neighbors sense what's happening. She's still waiting for me to say something. I open my mouth, but the dryness in my throat kills any words. I feel the dryness on my lips too. I keep them shut. I think back to the day I first suspected her. Her phone was on the table, unlocked. A message banner popped up. Thanks for tonight. It read, signed with an initial. A. She caught me looking. She snatched up the phone so fast I almost thought I'd imagined it. But I remember her face, how she turned away with that fake laugh. Work stuff, she'd said. A month later, I discovered her blog. That was the day everything cracked inside me. She steps closer. I hear the faint creak of the floorboard. John, say something. Anything. I straighten up, but my stare remains fixed on the bed. I saw you. I finally answer. My voice is barely audible. She closes her eyes. Yes, she says, half a whisper. At the motel. Right. That's how it happened. The motel, an ugly place off the highway. I didn't even need to guess. I knew where the taxi was going because I'd read the details. She said in her post, we'll meet there. Quiet, discreet. She wrote those words like a teenage girl describing a secret date. But she's 38. She's my wife. She's used to wearing wedding rings and big smiles at our friends' gatherings. Yet in her blog, I saw another side. Restless, longing, impatient. A woman who wanted a fling, an adventure. I swallow. The dryness scrapes my throat. Yes, I say. I saw. She doesn't ask how. She knows I found her blog. Maybe she figured it out from my distant stares, the nights I spent awake in the living room, hunched over my laptop. I never told her explicitly, but she must have known. It doesn't matter now. We're here. The bed is rumpled. The tension is worse than any argument we've had before. My mind drifts back to the motel, to the moment I saw them. I'd followed her taxi in my car. I watched her check in with him. Alex Cole, the man with a slight accent and a confident grin. Her coworker from some social media project, or so she had once mentioned. They went inside. The door shut behind them. I waited in the parking lot for 10, 15 minutes, feeling like I was choking on my own heartbeat. Then I stepped out of my car, walked around the building, found a ground floor window with a gap in the curtain. I saw enough. Her clothes undone, his hands around her hips. They were half turned away from me, but I could see the arch of her back, the tilt of her head. The sheets were tangled, just like ours are now. I remember the shape of her body, how she pressed into him. The movement was slow at first, then urgent. She gave a small gasp, the kind I used to hear when we first got married. It felt like an electric jolt shot through my chest. My hands trembled, but I couldn't look away. Time blurred. My eyes stung with tears. I wouldn't let myself cry. I saw him run his hand along her thigh. Her fingers clutched his shoulders. She sank into him. She breathed his name. I could almost taste the bitterness in the back of my throat. Then I turned around and walked away, back to my car to wait. I didn't rage, didn't scream. I just stood there in the parking lot, numb, until they emerged. I watched them laugh. They kissed near his car. She looked relaxed, glowing, like someone who'd just discovered a hidden oasis in a desert. Then she got into the taxi, and he drove off in his own vehicle. I went home in silence, my hands gripping the wheel so hard my knuckles went white. That was 3 days ago. I let her carry on, thinking I was oblivious. Maybe she felt a hint of suspicion, but I said nothing. I needed a plan, or at least I thought I did. Now she stands here, telling me you knew what you were getting into, as if it's some final statement, as if I'm the one who arranged this. I look at her for the first time since she spoke. Her cheeks are flushed. I can't tell if it's from anger, embarrassment, or the remains of that adrenaline rush. She's wearing a loose sweatshirt and leggings, the kind she often wears at home. Her feet shift on the carpet. She's restless. I realize she's frightened, too. The silence between us is suffocating. I changed, I say. After I saw you, I changed my name online. I changed my photos. You have no idea what that means, do you? I'm not sure why I'm talking about this. Maybe I want her to know how deep I've sunk into this betrayal. I read your blog. I saw your words. I felt them like nails in my skin. She flinches. John. Her voice falters. Then she clenches her jaw. Why didn't you just confront me? I almost laugh. It comes out as a dry rasp. Confront you, so you could lie again. So I could watch you perform some act of contrition when I already knew the truth. I had to see how far you'd go. I had to know if what you said about him was real or just some fantasy. She opens her mouth, but closes it again. Maybe she realizes there's nothing to say. I remember how I used to see her as the bright spot of my life, how her voice in the morning made coffee unnecessary. She was my energy. Now she's the reason my hands won't stop shaking, the reason I can't sleep. Maybe we both had illusions about each other. Maybe she thought I was strong enough to handle everything and keep giving her excitement. I wasn't. I became dull. I became safe. She went looking for more. She steps forward and tries to reach for my arm, but I move away. Her hand hovers in the empty air, then drops to her side. John, she says gently, I didn't want this to happen. It just did. I nod, as if we're discussing the weather. Yes, you wanted something new. You wrote about it. I read every sentence. She almost looks sorry for a second. Then that hardness returns to her eyes. Maybe she's angry that I snooped, that I watched from the shadows. But it doesn't matter now. I recall the old days. We met at a friend's party, me a quiet writer with anxious hands, her a social butterfly with an easy laugh. She used to spin around in her dresses, teasing me to dance. We were unstoppable once. A decade of marriage changes people. I get it. Still, I never thought I'd be the one watching her with some other man through a motel window. The silence grows again. I feel my pulse pounding. My mind runs through the last few nights, how I paced the kitchen floor with the lights off, imagining 1,000 scenarios. I fantasized about confronting Alex, maybe punching him. I pictured her tears, or her pleas, or her outraged defense. I pictured the end of everything. She says, "Are you going to leave me?" Her voice cracks at the edges. For a moment, I see not a deceitful wife, but the woman I knew, frightened and uncertain about the next step. I don't answer. I walk away from the bedroom, down the hall, my footsteps heavy on the old wood. She follows me. The living room is dim, the only light coming from a lamp in the corner. The furniture looks foreign, like I'm seeing it for the first time. The small sofa, the coffee table, the half-empty mug of tea she left behind. I hear her breathing behind me. I stare at the reflection in the television's black screen. A man with slumped shoulders, a woman standing behind him. It's like a funeral, I think, but I don't say it. I just watch the reflection. She tries again. "John, you can't." I turn around. "I'm not leaving yet, but you need to understand something. I'm not the same. Whatever you had with him, that changes us. Don't you feel it?" She closes her eyes, maybe to fight back tears, maybe to compose herself. "It was a mistake." "No, it was a choice." I say. My voice is flat. "Mistakes are when you trip and fall. This was a decision. You planned it. You wrote about it. You reveled in it. You told the world, but not me." She bites her lip and looks away. "Yes," she finally admits. Silence. My heart feels numb, and I realize I might be in shock. She suddenly says, "I'm sorry." But it doesn't sound like she's sure she is. More like she's sorry I found out. I nod. I'm done. I can't talk to her right now. I walk toward the kitchen without acknowledging her further. She doesn't follow. The floor in here is cold tile. I flip on the overhead light, harsh, almost fluorescent. The counters are empty except for a few dishes in the sink. They look out of place, a normal snapshot in a life that's no longer normal. I open the fridge, close it again without taking anything. My mind plays back her voice in that motel room. I didn't hear all the words, but I heard enough. Moans, hushed confessions of pleasure. She said his name, Alex, like it meant everything to her right then. She never used to speak my name that way. I breathe in, exhale slowly. My chest feels tight. When I return to the living room, she's on the couch, hugging her knees. She's not crying, just staring into space. "It's late," she says quietly. "I might as well go to bed." I shake my head. "I'll stay up." I walk to the window, part the curtains. The suburban street outside is silent. We used to be a normal couple on this street. Now I feel like an intruder in my own life. She stands and walks past me down the hallway. I hear the bedroom door close. Everything's so quiet that it rings in my ears. I remain there for an hour, maybe more, thinking about how I read her blog that night. How each new post hammered me deeper into a pit of disbelief. She wrote about his hair, his accent, his laughter. She wrote about how dull everything felt at home. She wrote about me in half-coded references, calling me the roommate. Then, a few nights ago, she posted, "Taxi to the motel, 9 p.m. The next step. I saw it all. I saw it happen. Eventually, I doze off in the living room chair. When I wake, pale morning light creeps through the curtains. She's gone. She left for work, I assume, or maybe just left. I check my phone. No messages. A note on the kitchen table says she'll stay with a friend for a while. I read it twice. It's neat, polite. It's the final courtesy of a polite betrayal. I don't know how many hours pass while I just sit there. My mind is blank. I open my laptop, stare at the login screen. Then I remember I changed everything. My username, profile photo, even the background. She can't track me. I did that after seeing her blog, trying to hide any sign of my presence. I open a new browser window, type in her blog's address. She hasn't updated it yet. The last post is from 2 nights ago, a cryptic reflection about meeting at midnight in a place that doesn't exist. She might be referencing the motel. She might be referencing a state of mind. I close the page. Then a plan forms. I used to be a journalist of sorts, a man who knows how to dig up details. I know how to hide my tracks. Alex Cole is not an enigma. I know where he works, thanks to the tidbits she posted. A big tech firm in the city. I look up his LinkedIn with my new account. It's easy to find. I see his professional photo, a friendly smile, black hair, short stubble. That's him, all right. I create a new identity on social media. A nameless figure, with no face, no personal details, just a handle that suggests nothing of me. Then I start watching him, his posts, the places he tags. He's proud of his morning runs along Lake Michigan, his gym check-ins. He's posted a photo with a coworker in a cafe. I see the reflection of the downtown skyline in the window behind them. My heart thumps, but I keep calm. This is my new vantage point. If he's going to be so open, I'll watch from behind the glass. Days pass. I don't see her. She doesn't call. The house feels vacant. I sleep in the bedroom, but I barely rest. I keep the sheets mostly untouched. The only reason I wash them is to remove that crumpled look that reminded me of everything. I do laundry, iron them, set them back on the bed like a stage prop. I wonder if she'll ever come back. One evening, I see a new post from him. He's headed to a trendy bar near the old district. He's meeting friends. I recall the last post she wrote in her blog. I need something raw, something real. My gut twists. I know it's just a matter of time before they meet again, somewhere new. She never could resist posting about it. So I wait. I wait too long. My mind spirals in these endless loops of memory and dread. I see them together in my head. I feel the dryness in my mouth. My chest clenches. I realize I've barely eaten in days. I stand in front of the mirror in the bathroom, stare at my face. I look older. My eyes look sunken. My hair is unkempt, and I haven't shaved in a while. I see a man who might as well be dead, as if part of me died back there in that motel parking lot. Then it happens. She updates her blog. Another cryptic note. He asked me to come to his place this time. A new adventure. Not sure I'm ready, but part of me craves it. I check the timestamp. 20 minutes ago. My adrenaline flares. I know exactly what to do. I read more carefully. She mentions a condo in the city. She doesn't list the exact address, but I can guess. He posted a photo of the same building a few weeks earlier. My mind is mechanical now, just snapping pieces together. She thinks she's discreet, but she's giving everything away. I text her. We need to talk. Tonight. Urgent. She doesn't reply. I drive into the city. The traffic is thick, the skyline towering, but I don't notice much. I park near that building, a fancy high-rise with tinted glass. I stand by the entrance, feeling the wind off the lake. My heart's pounding. People pass by, a swirl of city life that barely notices me. I wait. 5 minutes turn to 10 to 20. I wonder if I'm wrong. Then I see her. She steps out of a taxi in front of the building. She's wearing a black coat, her hair in a loose bun. She doesn't see me. She's scanning the lit numbers by the buzzer. Then a doorman steps aside. She disappears inside. I wait another 10 minutes, forcing myself not to tremble. I imagine her stepping into an elevator. I imagine a quiet hallway. She knocks on his door. He opens it with that confident grin. She smiles, steps inside. The door clicks shut. My pulse roars in my ears. I stand there, torn between wanting to charge up those floors or run away. But I do neither. Instead, I slip in when the doorman is distracted helping a tenant with luggage. I slip into the elevator. I check the panel. I suspect the 12th floor because that's the floor number in one of his older posts. I press 12. The elevator hums, carrying me up. My reflection in the polished door is a man I barely recognize. Shoulders tense, eyes hollow, lips pressed tight. I step out into a corridor that smells of new carpet and cleaning supplies. I walk slowly, scanning door numbers. 1205, 1206, 1207. Then I hear her laugh from behind 1208. It's muffled but distinct. I stop in front of it. My hand hovers near the door. My legs feel rooted to the ground. Her voice is lighter than I've heard in years. She's teasing him, half whispering. I don't catch the words, just the tone. A giggle. A hush. Then a soft moan, trailing into silence. My stomach churns with acid. I feel sweat at my temples. I imagine them inside, lips locked, clothes slipping off, just like in the motel. She's searching for that thrill she wrote about. She's doing this again, in his private space this time. And me. I'm stuck outside, hearing everything through the door. I shut my eyes. My mind flashes images. The crumpled sheets, the parted lips, the tilt of her head, the tension in my chest, the unstoppable ache. Then I turn and leave. I take the stairs, descending quickly, almost stumbling. My breath catches in my throat. I step into the city night, gulping in the cold air. I can't face them. Not yet. But something in me demands action. I'm no longer content to watch from the shadows. My emotions are raw, and I let them drive me. I go home, open my laptop. The blog. It's still open. I see her posts, how she romanticizes her betrayal. Then I open a new tab, log into a forum for private investigators and skip tracers. I know some of these people from past research. I post a request for help, quietly. Need to track digital footprints. Anonymous. Will pay. I wait for replies. Over the next few days, I set up a trap. I create a persona online, someone who might attract her curiosity. I know the triggers she responds to. Creative expressions, subtle flirting, talk about exploring hidden corners of the city. My idea is simple. Lure her new lover, Alex, into letting slip some detail he shouldn't. Maybe it's unscrupulous. I don't care. Something inside me decided that if she wanted to treat me like a stranger, I could become one. Meanwhile, the house is empty. She doesn't come back. She doesn't call. I push away the pain by focusing on the plan. My contact from the forum provides me with software to track IP addresses from certain email interactions. I send an innocuous email to Alex under the guise of a potential client in his industry. I embed a small tracking pixel. He opens it. Now I know he's at a certain coffee shop near his office. I watch his movements for a week this way. I see patterns. He has a routine. He's predictable. But something else unsettles me. She hasn't posted on her blog for a while. It's like she's gone offline. I wonder if she's enjoying her new life with him, or if she's lying low. My mind conjures images of them cooking dinner together in his condo, laughing over inside jokes. That image stabs me deeper than any physical pain I've ever felt. Then the day comes when I see a new post. I have to end one life to start another. I've hurt people. I need to decide. No names, but I know she's talking about me, or him, or both. My jaw tightens. This is it. She's teetering between her old life with me and her new fling. Something in her is about to break. The question is, do I let it break on its own, or do I push it? A week later, she calls me. Her first words are, "We need to talk. Can I come home tonight?" I stare at the phone. I picture her voice, the shape of her lips. Yes, I say, simply. She arrives around 8 in the evening, no suitcase. She stands in the doorway, hugging her coat around her shoulders. Her eyes flicker around, taking in the living room like it's foreign territory. I watch her from the couch. I feel hollowed out. She sits on a chair across from me. "I'm sorry for everything," she starts, voice trembling. "I know what I did. I know it's wrong." I don't respond. She takes a breath. "I'm ending it with him." Silence. She tries again. John, did you hear me? I nod. Yes. Why? She flinches, as if the question is unexpected. Why? She echoes. Because. It's wrong. I betrayed you. I can't. You can't lie to me forever. I finish, my voice flat. You can't keep sneaking around. You're tired of the guilt. Yes, she whispers. Then she adds, I still care about you. I stare at her. Part of me wants to believe that. Part of me wonders if she's just disappointed in how Alex turned out. Maybe she realized the fling wasn't everything she dreamed it would be. Or maybe she's discovered the pang of losing the stability I provided. I don't know. She stands up and crosses the room, kneels by the couch. She places a hand on my knee. I'm here, she says softly, searching my face. Ask me anything. My gaze drops to her hand. The memory of that motel rushes back, and I fight the urge to push her away. Instead, I speak quietly. Did you love him? She swallows. I don't know. I don't think so. I was infatuated. I liked the danger, the excitement. But love? No, it was just an escape. An escape. That single word hits me. She used me as her default life, stable and unchanging. She used him as her adventure. My stomach twists. I should feel angry or triumphant. Instead, I feel exhausted. That's all. I ask. Her eyes well up with tears, but she doesn't let them fall. I'm sorry. I needed something and I looked in the wrong place. I don't expect you to forgive me. I say nothing. Then, slowly, I stand. She looks up, confusion in her eyes. I walk to the hallway, open the closet, pull out a small suitcase. This was yours, I say, setting it down at her feet. She blinks at it. You packed for me. I nod. In case you came back. I didn't know if you wanted your things or not. She touches the handle. Are you telling me to leave? I watch her for a long moment. Yes. My voice is barely above a whisper. I can't live with you here. Not right now. She closes her eyes, tears escaping. She doesn't argue. She takes the suitcase, stands. John, please, she says, voice shaking. I'll do anything to fix this. I speak in a low monotone. It's too late to fix. Maybe one day I'll talk to you again. Right now, I can't look at you without seeing him. She presses her lips together. I see the heartbreak in her eyes, or maybe just regret for how this turned out. She nods slowly. Then she turns, walks to the door. She pauses with her hand on the knob. I never stopped caring about you, she whispers, tears rolling down her cheeks now. I want you to know that. I don't respond. The door closes behind her. I stand there in the silence for a long time. My hands tremble. I brace myself against the wall. My breath comes out in shallow gasps. This is the moment I once thought would bring relief. She's out. I have my revenge. But it feels hollow. My chest is tight. My reflection in the mirror by the door is that of a man who's just lost something he can't replace. Hours later, my phone buzzes. An unknown number. I answer, quietly. It's Alex. His voice is tense. What the hell is going on? He demands. I got a message from Emily, saying it's over. She told me you threatened her. I frown. I never threatened her, I say. She said you forced her out of the house. I let out a slow breath. She left on her own. He exhales, curses softly. Why are you doing this to her? I almost laugh. This man calling me about my wife, as if I'm harassing some poor innocent woman. You're calling me, I say, because you think you can fix it for her, or you want me to apologize to you for some reason. He hesitates. I just want to understand. She's upset. She won't answer my calls now. She told me she was going back to you. Then she shows up at my place crying, saying you won't talk to her. I close my eyes. I picture her on his couch now, crying. The triangle is complete. Listen, Alex, I say with forced calm. I don't know what story she told you, but you can keep her if that's what you both want. I'm out. I told her to leave. You have no reason to call me again. He's silent for a second. Then he says, "That's it. That's it." He hangs up, and I drop the phone onto the table. My mind churns. She went to him when I turned her away. I guess that's no surprise. She's always searching for some sense of belonging. Now she's back at his door, tears streaming, shifting the blame onto me. The cycle continues. Another sleepless night finds me in front of the laptop. I think about the last words she wrote on her blog, something about choosing a path. My chest feels like a cage of nails. The revenge I wanted tastes like ash. I open a new document and start typing. Not a blog, not a letter. Just my thoughts. I saw them. I didn't scream. I watched as if from outside my body. Something died in me that night. I changed everything, but I'm not free. I type for hours, a confessional monologue, each keystroke an outlet for the pain. Days bleed into each other. Then, one afternoon, as I'm checking my messages, I see a note from her. She wrote, "I need to talk, face to face. There's something you should know. Please meet me at the old motel." 7 p.m. My pulse kicks up. The old motel, the same one she used with him. Why there? Some twisted sense of symmetry. I hesitate. Then I realize I need closure, no matter how painful. So I grab my keys and go. It's raining as I drive. The wipers flap across the windshield. The motel sign flickers in the dusk, the same bleak vacancy sign. The parking lot is full of puddles. I see her car. No, it's a borrowed car. She must have borrowed a friend's, or maybe she rented it. She's standing in front of room 107, sheltered under the overhang, arms wrapped around herself. She looks small, drenched. I park, step out into the cold drizzle, walk up to her. She looks at me with red, swollen eyes. "What is it?" I ask, my voice coming out harsher than I intend. She turns and unlocks the door to room 107. The same room, I realize, or at least it looks the same from outside. My gut twists. Inside, the light is dim, and the musty smell hits me. She flips the switch. A flickering lamp reveals a single bed with gray sheets. It's bare, uninviting. I stand near the door. She paces the small space. Finally, she looks at me. "I'm pregnant," she says. My world tips on its axis. The words swirl in my head. I force my jaw to stay steady. "Is it?" She shakes her head, tears filling her eyes. "I don't know." Silence. The rain outside thrums against the roof. My heart bangs in my chest. The first coherent thought is a wave of fury. But behind that, a sudden raw fear. If it's his child, that changes everything. If it's mine, then everything changes too. She steps toward me. "John, I wanted to tell you. I had to. I only just found out. I'm scared." "I'm so sorry." I press my back against the wall. The faint hum of the air conditioner rattles. I can't breathe. "You're sure you're pregnant?" "Yes," she murmurs. "I did 2 tests. Then I saw a doctor this morning. I'm about 5 weeks along." 5 weeks. Right around the time she started posting about the motel. Could be me or him or both. The timeline is hazy. My throat tightens. Why here? Why the motel? She hugs herself, glancing at the bed. "I wanted you to see it. I wanted you to feel what I feel." She breaks off. "This place is where I lost myself. Now, maybe it's where I confess." I say nothing, just stare at her. Her posture is hunched, like she's about to collapse. She looks at me, tears tracking down her cheeks. "I'm so sorry, John. I didn't expect to." I hold up a hand. "Stop." My voice is surprisingly calm. "Don't tell me you didn't expect it. You made choices." She nods, tears falling. "I know, and I'm paying for them. I know we can't go back to how things were. But I can't do this alone. I'm telling you because it might be yours. I rub a hand over my face. I recall all the times we shared intimacy around that month. Maybe a few, though it was overshadowed by her drifting away. My stomach churns with sickening dread. We can do a test, I say, my tone hollow. We'll know. Yes, I will. But I didn't want to keep you in the dark until then. I look at the bed. The same bed where I once imagined them. Now it's just an ugly reminder. I shut my eyes, exhaling. All right, I manage, opening my eyes again. So that's it. You told me. She steps closer, a trembling hand raised as if to touch my shoulder. But she doesn't. I don't want to lose everything, John. If this child is yours, if it's mine, I'll do what I have to. I say, my voice quivering at the edges. But don't think this fixes us. She nods, fresh tears on her face. I feel a pang of sorrow, but I force it down. The rain intensifies outside. A flash of lightning momentarily illuminates the curtains. We stand in silence. Then I step away from her, open the door. I'm leaving. She takes a shaky breath. Joan. I don't respond. I walk out into the rain. The sky is a dull gray, the lot shining with reflections of the neon sign. I start my car and drive away, the cold steering wheel trembling in my grip. I don't look back. In the days that follow, everything unravels further. She texts me about scheduling an appointment for a paternity test, which can be done after certain weeks with a non-invasive method. I respond in single words. Okay. Fine. Yes. My heart is numb. My nights are spent in a half-conscious state, drifting between nightmares and raw awakenings. I track Alex online. He's clueless about the pregnancy. He's posting pictures of new restaurants, a smiling face with colleagues. I realize she hasn't told him. She's left him in the dark for now. Maybe she's terrified he'll vanish. Or maybe she's not sure if she wants him to stay. I can't guess her mind anymore. She's become a stranger. Then, one afternoon, the results come in. It's my child. I read the text from the lab and almost dropped my phone. My child. My stomach clenches. This changes everything, or maybe it doesn't change anything. I'm not sure. I just know I have a responsibility. Whether I want it or not. I invite her to meet me in a public place, a small diner near my old office. We sit in a corner booth. The waitress brings coffee. Neither of us drinks it. She looks pale, anxious. So, she says softly, "It's mine." I say, placing the paper test results on the table. No doubt. Her hands shake. Yes. I'm so sorry, John. No, I interrupt. We're past apologies. I look at her. She seems exhausted, eyes rimmed with shadows. I remember that somewhere inside her is my child, and I should feel protective. Instead, I feel only confusion and a cold sense of duty. She lowers her gaze. So what now? I stare at my reflection in the coffee surface. I'll provide for the child. Whatever happens between us, I won't abandon my kid. But that doesn't mean we go back to how we were. Her eyes fill with tears. I understand. I thank you for not shutting me out completely. I grip the edge of the table. Anger flares in me for a moment. Anger that she put us in this position. But I swallow it down. I just nod. She whites her cheeks, composes herself. And Alex, he's out of the picture. I ended it. I let that statement hang. She ended it before or after she realized the baby wasn't his. Maybe both. I don't ask. I just say, okay. We talk logistics, doctor appointments, financial arrangements. We keep it civil, almost businesslike. Then we go our separate ways. The entire drive home, I fight an urge to scream until my voice is gone. But there's no use. The man I used to be is gone, replaced by someone who barely feels alive, whose main focus is a child not yet born. The next months pass in a grim fog. She moves in with her mother for a while, away from the city. I meet her occasionally for prenatal checkups. We don't talk about Alex. We talk only about the baby's health, about possible names if it's a boy or a girl. On good days, we manage small smiles, a fragile truce. I sense she hopes this will bring us back together eventually. I remain cold. I still see the flicker of pain in her eyes when I don't reciprocate her attempts at warmth. She tries to make small jokes, tries to talk about the day's events. I nod politely. My answers are short, factual. Yes. No. That's fine. It's how I cope. It's how I keep from collapsing. Part of me wants to let go of the anger, but it clings to me like a shadow. One evening after a doctor's visit, she asks if we can grab a bite to eat. I agree. We go to a little burger place near the hospital. She's further along now, a gentle curve showing. We order burgers, fries. She picks at her food, glancing at me. "John," she says softly, "I know you don't want to talk about us, but you need to know. I regret what I did every day. Not just because it hurt you, but because I saw a part of myself that scares me. It's like I was looking for something to fix my restlessness. I never meant to lose you." I chew slowly, swallow. "You lost me the day I saw you with him." I speak quietly, no malice in my tone, just a statement. It's the truth. She looks down at her plate, tears gathering. I sigh inwardly. This is where I might have tried to comfort her in the past. Now I can't. I push my tray aside. "I'll drive you home," I say. She nods. The months slip by. I find a new place to live, a small apartment near my old neighborhood. She remains with her mother. The baby's due date approaches. We stay in contact for medical updates. Everyone we know is confused. Some ask if we're divorcing. Some wonder if it's a trial separation. We say it's complicated. Then the final day comes. She goes into labor. It's a frantic rush to the hospital. I'm there for the birth because I can't abandon my child. The staff encourages me to hold her hand, help her breathe. She's sweating, crying out in pain, gripping my fingers in a deathlock. I see the agony in her eyes, and for a split second, I feel that old protective instinct. Despite everything, I can't hate her in this moment. The baby is born, a boy. He's tiny, wailing, arms flailing. The nurses hand him to her first, and she looks at him with an overwhelming tenderness. Then they offer him to me. My hands shake as I cradle my son, our son. He's warm, alive, small. A surge of emotion floods me, tears burning my eyes. I hold him, watch him quiet down as he senses my heartbeat. She's lying there, exhausted but radiant, tears of relief on her cheeks. Our eyes meet, a flicker of something old and deep passing between us. But there's too much weight of betrayal, too much pain to just wipe it away. I gently hand the baby back to her. As the days go by, I'm present for my son. I visit him in the hospital nursery. I buy a crib, set it up in my apartment. She tries to come by often. I let her. We function as co-parents. She asks if we can try couples therapy. I shake my head. Not yet. Maybe not ever. I see the heartbreak in her face. She doesn't push further. She focuses on the baby. We both do. Yet behind every feeding and diaper change, there's this silent tension, an unspoken knowledge that something broke in us that can't be easily repaired. One rainy afternoon, months later, I'm in my apartment rocking our boy to sleep. She's there, quietly folding baby clothes. We've reached a fragile routine. I wash her out of the corner of my eye. She still has that softness in her features, the one I fell in love with years ago. I remember the day we said our vows, how she smiled through tears. A lifetime ago. She meets my gaze. We exchange a tentative smile over our sleeping son's head. In that moment, I realize I'm still paying for my revenge. I got the victory of exposing her affair, driving her out, making her feel the consequences. But my soul is scared. I'm a shell of the man I was. The only flicker of true warmth I feel is for the baby in my arms. I won't say I've forgiven her. I won't say we're mended. but there's life in this child, a shared future that demands some kind of reckoning. Maybe one day I'll find a path to let go of the bitterness. Maybe she'll atone in ways I can accept. Or maybe we'll drift forever, connected only by a child who deserves better. I don't know. For now, I hold my son's tiny hand and feel his small fingers wrap around one of mine. She watches us with quiet eyes. My breath shudders as I exhale. I want to speak, but no words come. I just hold him closer, feeling the weight of everything we've lost and everything we've gained. That's how it ends. A weary father with empty eyes, a remorseful mother with haunted dreams, and a little boy who has no clue about the betrayal, the pain, the revenge. He only knows our warmth, our hearts beating for him. And maybe in that small breath of innocence, there's a seed of hope. For him, if not for us.